Today I'm excited to show you what is new in Sizzy. So we're going to start with the snippets manager, which you can find on the left side here in the sidebar. And you can see that it's divided in two sections, global snippets and project snippets. This allows you to easily store your code so you don't have to look through old code bases and just shuffle through projects while you find your code. You can easily store it in Sizzy as part of the current project that you have active. Right now, my current project is Sizzy Demo. Or I can store them as global snippets, so they're going to stay across all of my projects. So let's look at an example. I'm going to add a snippet. I'm going to give it a name, something JS, and I'm going to expand it here. And here I'm going to write something like super important that I want to store. I can easily copy it to my clipboard. I can lock and unlock based, like maybe it's something secret that I don't want to show in my recordings or my streams or whatever. So now I have this snippet. If I want to change the language, I can change it here, for example, to TypeScript or TypeScript JSX or JSX, and basically have all of the languages here so you can choose from them. Let's do another one. So I'm going to go to the browser here. I'm going to copy some HTML here and let's store another snippet. So some HTML thingy here. Going to open this, change this to HTML and paste it here. So now what I can do is I can easily copy the snippets from here, or I can invoke Butler with Command-Shift-P, and I can easily search for some HTML thingy, and this will allow me to easily copy the snippet to my clipboard, or I can search for the actual code. So for example, I can search for this from Butler and I'll easily get my snippets that actually contain this HTML. So if I wanna use this in all the projects, let's say something JS, this is really important. So I'm going to make it global, which is going to move it here. And now I'll have access to these global snippets in all the projects. But as soon as I switch to, let's say, for example, I switch to Glink, here in Glink, I'm going to have different project snippets for Glink. So I have use effect example and I have CSS button, but I still have the global snippets. And when I go back to Sizzy Demo, I'm going to have my project snippets. So I think more or less that's it. We may expand on the functionality in the future. You can also search the snippets from here, so you can search for the code or the title, and we might add new things in the future so you can give us ideas. I'm going to show you how we took presets in Sizzy to the next level. Presets were super useful if you wanted to quickly switch between devices, or if you wanted to quickly switch between some, for example, a layout with devices and so on and so forth. But we made them even more powerful, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to go back to iPhones, and as you can see, all of my devices are going to go to the same URL. However, I'm going to drop a couple more iPads, or I can use our new Butler action for removing iPhone, removing. I really like this one, but I pressed something. I was trying to do it too quickly. Remove iPhone 8 Plus and remove iPhone. Yeah, we can keep the one iPhone, and I will drop one more iPad into the workspace. So these are my devices. This is the layout that I want them in for some reason. And I can save this as a preset. I can give it a name. I can say my favorite devices. However, now we allow you to do more things in the preset, meaning I can also store different URLs on them. So let's say I'm going to disconnect the navigation here, and now meaning all the devices are going to have a different URL and they can separately navigate to different websites. So on this one, I'm going to go to enter the portal, and on this one, I'm going to go to FAQ. So now all the devices are on different URLs. So if I click here, you will see this is on login, this is on FAQ, and let's say that I like this particular layout. And in combination of all of this, I can switch them to use a different session. For example, this one will use user 1, this one will use user 3, and this one will be global, no, just guest, meaning they will have separate cookies and separate, this broke because our demo site is still work in progress, and sometimes it breaks when you change the session or whatever happened there. So anyway, now they are on a different URL and they have different user session, meaning I can log in with different users here, here, and here, and I can keep different URLs here, here, and here. And instead of doing this every time I switch into this project, I can save it as a preset. So I can say Sizzy demo 3 devices, and here I can choose what do I want to save. Do I want to save the zoom, the alignment of the devices, the session, which is what we want to save, the navigation stack, and do I want to save the list of devices, and which per device properties I want to save, like URL, device config, color scheme, blah, blah, blah. I can save all of these things. So now I'm going to call this Sizzy demo 3 devices. I'm going to click save, And now I can switch back to my iPhones, and this is what I'm going to get. But as soon as I switch to Sizzy Demo 3 devices, we are going to get back to exactly the same layout, exactly the same devices, the same URLs. So basically I can bookmark this workspace as a preset. That's confusing. I shouldn't say. I can save this entire workspace as a preset, and every time I go to this project, I can easily go and activate that preset. We can do that by editing the project here, Sizzy Demo, and I'm going to say that whenever we switch to the project, I want to switch to Sizzy Demo 3 devices. So you can choose which preset do you want to switch to when activating a project. So I'm going to switch now, and I'm going to go to Glink, which is one of my projects on disk, and this one is switching to its own preset. Here I need 4 iPads, I need them to go to different URLs, and anytime I switch back to Sizzy Demo, it's gonna go to the Sizzy Demo preset. So to conclude, presets previously were only saving the layout and a couple more things, but now when you combine sessions and separate URLs, and important, they also save these settings, meaning for some project you might want to have scroll sync because you're working on responsive design and you want to synchronize the scroll and all the devices to scroll together. But on another project or in another preset, I might not want that. So in this one, I have them turned off, so I can have separate URLs, I can have separate scroll, I can have separate everything. And instead of configuring this separately all the time, I can just configure it once, save it as a preset, make sure that here I have it as the default preset for this project. So anytime I switch to the Sizzy Demo project, I'm going to get this preset activated, and I'm going to save a bunch of time configuring devices, going to different URLs, and basically this is a huge time saver, and it can help you debug and work on your projects faster. Next on the list, we have Butler actions for managing devices. So I already showed you this a little bit, but I'm going to show it again, that we can say Command-Shift-P, drop iPhone 8 to the workspace, or Command-Shift-P, remove iPhone 11 from the workspace. So you can easily add and remove devices from Butler. We added another command for editing projects quickly. Instead of you going to the project here and clicking on edit, or for any other project, you can just say, let's say I want to edit Glink, edit Glink, edit project Glink. So you can type this in Butler and you can press enter, and suddenly you can edit your project. We improved the bookmarks UI, and in order to do that, I need to switch to Glink. And in Glink, I have more bookmarks, and I'm going to show you how it looks like. Now it looks a little bit cleaner. You can see a bit more bookmarks at once, and you can also search them here by name or by localhost 3000 or glink.so if you want to see your production bookmarks and so on. We added a toggle button for toggling the navigation settings. So my trackpad is dying, hence the lagginess. Sizzy is speedy now, it's not the lag from Sizzy. Then we have the toggles in the navigation sync. It was pretty annoying to toggle them one by one here, like this and this and this and this. Usually you either want to toggle all of them at once or you want to disable all of them at once. So now you can easily just click on disable or enable for the toggles. And we improved these two icons. So in case this folder doesn't exist on disk, you're gonna get a red outline around, and it will tell you that you need to fix the project directory first before you can open it in your code editor or opening it in Finder. And yeah, a couple of small bug fixes. The QR code should work now, and selecting URL in inside of the device should work now. One small tip, if you forgot from the previous releases, we made these clickable. So now you can go back and forth, navigate back and forth just by clicking on these icons within the device. And I think that's it for this release. Thank you very much for watching.